I say gas fills space. That's what I actually say. Maybe you need something else that I haven't said to respond to. Sad.
So, Nathan.
Is this someone else?
Are you are you able to demonstrate?
Did you want to appeal to the moderator before you just pick up the baton in some server? I was talking to someone else. You just lost badly.
Oh,
Do you think it's your chance to take my victory dance away from me? How dare you? That guy just had his ass absolutely handed to him. Yeah? By me, a flat earther. Another example justifying why I'm mocking you globe believers for being stupid. That was another example of that. And my righteous indignation in telling you to shut up while I take my little victory dance as a flat earther with the intellectual superiority I've demonstrated here in front of a load of globe-believing numpties who don't really know much about their own stupid religion of a sky vacuum-based globe that's based on flat earth measurements.
Well, are ad homs bad, Nathan?
Yeah, the logical fallacies. Wow, the globe believer asks if fallacious reasoning is bad. Oh no, fallacious reasoning is wonderful, mate. You stupid globe-believing numpty.
I'll accept the dumb thing, but watch who you're calling a numpty.
Great globe proof, mate.
Numpty means dumb.
You should check your dictionary, friend. It certainly does not.
Oh, maybe I'll be standing corrected after I look it up.
Sorry, Nathan. From Oxford Dictionary, numpty, noun, informal, British, a stupid or ineffectual person. Confused numpties who have little idea of what they are talking about is the example given.
Tables have very much turned in 2024. You're now sad, pathetic, ranting, delusional morons chanting about things like gravity, like religious zealots on the street pounding Bibles going, "We have gravity!" And we're all laughing at you from the sidelines. Yeah, 19 times to accept that a 90 degree must have a flat line meeting it. I love it. I absolutely love it. How pathetic you globe believers have become in 2024. A different question for any globe believers. Do you enjoy us flat earthers mocking your ignorance now? We're mocking you. Well, that's what's happening, lads and ladies. You're all being mocked by flat earthers who know a lot more about the world than you do. Not only a lot more about the world, a lot more about your religion about the world. Your globe religion and your sky vacuum religion. We know all about it. You guys have got a cursory understanding that you got from high school. What a shock when you find out it's all garbage.
Pretty hard to have a debate.
You can't have a curved line meeting a 90-degree ground position.
This is Mr. Jew, Nathan. This room is hosting Nathan here tonight and Nathan's show.
Got it. Okay. It's a sincere question, Nathan. You gotta, I don't understand why you're just so aggressive to people who are trying to have a conversation with you.
Would you like me to answer?
I guess.
Well,
kind of how conversations work, but you know what? It's your show. You do your thing.
Now I'm being told how conversations work. I ask, would you like an answer? I guess is the answer. I start answering. You start telling me how conversations run. What, with people immediately talking through the request for an answer and an affirmation that you definitely do want it? Maybe our conversation runs as you immediately start talking through me. This is why I'm irritated. Because that's generally what's happened in 19 attempts for a zealot globe believer who told me that I can have a curved line meeting a 90-degree position on the ground. Now, I doubt you heard that rebuttal once, because what he did was talk like you're now talking, straight through the top of me. And that's really irritating.
How am I talking through you?
Well, I'm talking and you've decided to talk as I talk. That's talking through me. Meanwhile, the guy didn't respond in 19 attempts to his incorrect assertion that you can have a curved line meeting a 90-degree point.
Move on to a different subject.
And it would seem that while I'm pointing out to this guy, and I had the line closed, he started talking while I pointed it out to him. Isn't that interesting, audience?
Yeah, because you've said it 4 times now. I'm asking if we can change the subject, talk about something else. The guy's muted.
Okay, I'll answer you. No, the answer to your question is, can we change the subject from a flat Earth elevation angle measurement proving we measure Earth flat?
Except that's not what you're talking about. You're just going on and on about your 90.
He doesn't know how to have a conversation. I don't want this to continue. Please, can you stop this guy from talking to me? Thank you. Anyway, so I pointed out to another guy 19 times, and now this guy 5 times before he had to be server muted because he wanted to change the subject. It was painful. He asked if he could have a subject change. I was responding, no. No, I'm going to keep proving that Earth's measured flat, because all of the mapping systems and indeed globe beliefs are derived from these flat Earth measurements. These angle measurements of a flat baseline with 90 degrees below Polaris gives us our latitude system that gets stretched around a globe after measuring it flat. So your globe belief is reliant on these measurements. So when you ask if we can change the subject from the origins of your globe belief, that would be measurements of a flat Earth with Polaris at the centre, I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with I will prove to my audience over and over again just how Earth is measured flat and how that flat Earth measurement is used for you to believe in a globe that comes from those measurements. A calculated globe that you reify into existence with sky vacuums around it in violation of natural laws. That's what I'll do. When you ask me if we can change the subject, the answer will be no.
Nathan, imagine believing you live on a globe, and then you eventually find out that the globe that you think you live on is flat, and it's measured like that.
A conversation change. It's like, really? This is how painful it is?
Yeah. Don't want to talk about how flat it's measured, do they? No. Don't want that.
Even if we're telling them how their globe came from those measurements, they still don't want to hear it. I mean, we try and give them a higher level of understanding when it comes to their globe religion, and they don't want to hear it. We're like, no, you've got latitude lines around your stupid globe. Where do you think they came from? Do you think they were measured on that globe? Nah, they were measured on a flat plane with angles to Polaris. That's how all the maps were derived. That's why they're all flat, so you can still functionally use them with angles off a flat Earth. Did you never wonder why all the maps were flat? Or what's that? You think they were globe projections? Oh, did they not tell you that the latitude on the globe came from flat Earth measurements before that? Oh, they just didn't tell you. Oh, well, that makes you dumb. And I, the flat earther, know better than you about your stupid globe faith. This must be very painful. You'd want to change the subject from the flat Earth measurements that you need for your globe. Surely you'd want to know more about how your globe came to be. Oh, you don't? You'd rather just believe in it as a fantasy, and I'm ruining that for you? Oh, that's a shame. Well, what I'm doing is laughing at you and mocking you because you're all stupid globe-believing numpties who don't really know any better. And I, with righteous indignation as a flat earther, do. I and everybody around here who is a flat earther right now are factually smarter than every single globe believer in this server. We are your superiors, intellectually speaking. You are all dumbos who chant through us and need 19 repetitions of your failures. That's how it actually took place here today. Hope we're all clear on the globe side just how dumb you all are. The flat earthers are mocking you.
I'll accept the dumb thing, but watch who you're calling a numpty. Yeah?
Numpty means dumb.
You should check your dictionary, friend. It certainly does not.
Oh, maybe I'll be standing corrected after I look it up. Meanwhile, intellectual superiority from flat earthers was I was highlighting more than anything here.
Great globe proof, mate.
Sorry, Nathan, for Top Hat in the chat from Oxford Dictionary, numpty, noun, informal, British, a stupid or ineffectual person. Confused numpties who have little idea of what they are talking about is the example given.
So again, yet again, a flat earther correcting their phraseology was corrected by a globe-believing idiot saying they were wrong and they needed to look it up. The person who said that, just so we're clear, you just made a perfect example of how the flat earther, in this case me, was your intellectual superior in phraseology and linguistic ability. I knew better and used the word correctly because that guy was an idiot, a numpty. Stupid. He didn't know much about his globe religion and how the origins worked. And now, in response to me taking my victory of intellectual superiority, somebody else is chanting through me. Probably with a globe, probably somebody stupid. Probably a globe believer. All right, are you a stupid globe believer, the guy that just started talking?
Well, and I heard you stutter there. That's what I heard.
Immediately into an ad hom. I say, no curved line to a 90-degree Earth measured flat. He starts talking about how I'm stuttering straight into the ad hom. That's a logical fallacy.
Well, are ad homs bad, Nathan?
Yeah, the logical fallacies. Wow! The globe believer asks if fallacious reasoning is bad. Oh no, fallacious reasoning is wonderful, mate! You stupid globe-believing numpty! Hello? The guy who asked me if fallacious reasoning was bad? Do
I
you
just asked
feel
you about-
smart? Because we are now with righteous indignation mocking you for your demonstrated stupidity. So the audience is clear. I've now got to clear this up as the flat earther with intellectual superiority. That's right, audience. Using fallacious reasoning like an ad hominem attack is bad. This dumb globe believer didn't quite realise that. Fairly standard fare that me, the flat earther, has to correct an idiot globe believer when he declares, in an expressed high tone, is it bad to use a logical fallacy? Yeah, it is, you stupid idiot. You numpty.
Yeah, so that was Rich Evans, yeah? So, Rich, have you got anything else to contribute to the conversation, or...?
I could, yeah. Am I going to be able to speak, or am I going to get
Well, it depends if you just
chanted over,
or you're going to stay on topic.
We're going to get chanted over.
What did you want to talk about, AJ?
Anything in regards to...
Come on, Rich, prove the globe.
Everyone else, please be quiet.
I think we'll stick on Nathan's topic, yeah? Is an angle two straight lines meeting at a vertex?
If we're sticking to Nathan's topic, then we're going to be talking about how we're not dumb, right?
I'll pick up the reins from there if you want me to. He's saying he's going to talk about how dumb they're not. Okay. Well, that's by way of demonstration. So my examples thus far with people's stupidity have been with stupidity like curved lines meeting at vertices to create 90s. That's stupid. So I give examples where my opponent, a globe believer in this instance, is stupid. So I can call him a stupid globe believer because as a globe believer, he's declared that a curved line can meet a 90-degree point on the ground. It can't. That makes him stupid. And the reason for his stupidity is his globe belief. Therefore, I am righteous in declaring him as such because it's absolutely factually accurate. Now, I don't know you. I don't know if you're going to use fallacy. We'll see how we get on. But when we measure Earth flat with 90-degree points to Polaris, what we're actually just doing is taking an angle to a star with respect to a horizontal plane that we are standing on and establishing that we can get 90 below the star at something called a ground position. 90 degrees between that point and you is a flat Earth. So with that example, I proved that Earth is measured flat. It was actually my opponent's example. I didn't bring it up.
Sorry, was that drivel supposed to mean something?
Yeah, it means we measure Earth flat. It wasn't drivel. It was a quite concise description of an elevation angle measurement to Polaris with 90 degrees below it called a ground position and a line along the ground between you and it. A baseline.
I can't differentiate
with
that
respect to a horizontal plane.
Mushy peas
and it
coming
seems that if it's not just drivel that he didn't understand, perhaps where a good chunk of my audience absolutely understood what I just said, you project your ignorance because you failed to understand it. Because it wasn't drivel, it was a concise description of an elevation angle measurement. That particular concise description that you interrupted after calling drivel is actually our system called latitude. You called it drivel, it's actually called latitude. Your ignorance, demonstrated stupidity here, led you to ascribe a description of measuring latitude. You labelled it drivel because you are an ignorant globe believer like the last guy. It's not drivel, it's called a latitude measurement. I hope you feel educated by me, the flat earther, who's now mocking you for your ignorance. So, yeah, I stand by my example. We are smarter than you globe-believing numpties. That was just demonstrated by that guy. Thanks for making my example for me and justifying me laughing at you. Maybe you'd like to tell me that I stuttered through my example where I proved Earth's measured flat. Maybe. We'll see.
No, he's taken off.
I thought.
Run away, little globe believer.
Nathan, it was
But we'll
dribbled
give
to
Gregory
him
another chance.
because he can't comprehend it.
Yeah, he
But
projected
it's
that.
perfectly sound English to me.
To say that, I said he projected his ignorance, but yes, that's correct. Go ahead, AJ, I'm sorry.
All good. I'm just saying I've unmuted Gregory. We'll give Gregory another chance. He was speaking originally before Rich rudely interrupted and took over and then bolted.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to ask Nathan, can a gradient extend to 10 to the negative 17 tall in a container?
Sorry, what claim did I make about this exactly?
You say that you can't go to a place that's 10 to the negative 17 tall vacuum of outer space.
Yeah, gas would fill that area of volume. I gave a Yale example where a university lecturer explained how gas fills a volume, and the volume would be space, so gas would fill it, as per the Yale example I played. Did you hear the Yale example when he described gas dispersion into a volume? Did you hear that example get played? I could play it again.
Well, I'm curious then. How low does pressure have to
you
get?
don't seem to be responding through me. You seem to be responding at the middle of my conclusion and question of you. I'll try that again for a second time. Hopefully you won't chant through the middle of me. We'll see how I get on. I'll try a second time. Did you hear the Yale lecture about specifically PV equals nRT and the second law of thermodynamics, with a very specific example of gas filling a volume? Gas fills...
Yeah, I heard you say that.
There's the conclusion again that he's rumpus. That's the second attempt. Are you a
I said I heard that, retard.
Are you a coward? Do you need to chant through the end of my statement there, coward? Is it that you're scared of me and the answers to the question won't be forthcoming? Therefore, if you chant through the end of the question, you won't have to answer it? Scared? Shall I try a third time?
Yeah, I said I heard that.
Are you a small boy?
I heard that.
Are you a small boy?
Are you an old man? Are you an old man?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I mean,
Meanwhile, gas fills space. The Yale lecturer made that absolutely clear, and I'm trying to get clarity, third time's the charm, with this guy. If he heard the Yale lecturer describe gas filling space when describing the second law of thermodynamics, did you hear that is my question. It's a yes or no question. Close.
Processes which we call irreversible. That's like perfume leaking out of the bottle. Hot and cold, when mixed, will never separate back into hot and cold. A gas, that genie that got out of the bottle won't go back. This gas that came out won't go back. There's a whole lot of processes which we call irreversible.
For the third time, Nathan, I heard that. Do you understand English, Nathan?
Yeah, gas fills space. It's like a genie that gets out of the perfume bottle. You'll never get it back in. So gas that we're all breathing fills space. So space is fake. We wouldn't have high-pressure gas. We wouldn't be breathing it if there was an availability of volume for it to fill that it ain't filling in your religion.
All right, so how low does pressure have to get before you require a container, Nathan?
I'm not making claims about anything to do with the sky. This is a sky vacuum claim for you to have an
Well,
outer
this should be obvious.
space.
This is,
I'm
one of your
responding
big
to
three
you, and you
arguments,
don't
isn't
seem
it?
to
Well,
like my
call it an
response. It seems like my response is
It's a bit
painful and
retarded,
needs
Nathan,
immediate
isn't it?
chanting.
Bit retarded.
Ah, another triggered Fundy, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't like my responses. It's much easier if the question he asks is followed immediately by him carrying on talking. The answers don't want to be heard, again, like the last guy. This is why we mock you, because you seem weak. Yeah, I'm trying to respond to you. You're asking me about why gases do things. Did I have a claim about something in regards to this? Or was it just my rebuttal in regards to you having a sky vacuum belief that defies entropy? Because I don't remember making any positive assertions in this regard. But if we're done with my rebuttal about gas filling space and my example of the Yale University professor specifically detailing how gas fills space, then that's it. That's the end of the discussion about your sky vacuum in the affirmative positive claim that's been refuted. What was that? Did you want to ask me something about the sky? I don't really have any claims about that, so I don't feel the need to defend anything. But did you need to ask me about how gas behaves? You, like I, could sit through hours and hours of Yale University lectures, like I've done.
Other, I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other.
Or what's the other one I sat through? MIT.
Remove this partition and wait a little bit, then I know the gas fills up.
Spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume. If
you have gas, it would expand into the vacuum, absolutely.
Talking about an ideal gas expanding against a vacuum.
Hours and hours of lectures that I've sat through from MIT and Yale about second law and first law. Man, it's boring and tedious. You can do that too if you want to know how this stuff works. I just use it to absolutely take a giant steaming on stupid globe-believing numpties' belief that the sky is a vacuum. Beyond that, I don't have any positive claims to have to answer your questions in that regard. I hope you understand.
Have somebody
It's more like you can't respond because you don't actually know what you're...
Was that the start of an ad hom? You don't know what you're talking about? No, I cited Yale. The audience heard it and you heard it. Do I not know what I'm talking about? What about the guy from Yale? He's talking about gas filling space. It's a law of nature. You don't know what you're talking about. Again, a nice, beautiful example for my audience where we, the flat earthers, righteous indignation, you stupid boy, sit down. You obviously haven't sat through any of these lectures and want to tell me how I don't understand. Yeah, I do. Anything else, son? Or can we start mocking you for your stupidity and lack of understanding?
You run away. That's fine. Run away.
No, I'm asking you if there's anything else beyond your lack of understanding of the second law of thermodynamics.
Already proved you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was same ad hom that we laughed at last time, showing your weakness. I pointed out to my audience how weak that makes you seem. You feel the need to rinse and repeat that weak-ass crap about how I don't understand the many hours of lectures on thermodynamic laws that I've watched. No, I understand. I absolutely assure you. Is that all you've got, or was there anything else? Maybe you wanted to accuse me again of running away when I'm running a live show.
Well, I mean, I'll give you a second shot, Nathan. So you're saying that gas pressure can't go to 10 to the negative 17 torr as the gradient, right? Because it will fill the available space.
I didn't say that.
So
I
why
did not
is
say
65
that.
miles?
He's just told me what I'm saying, and I didn't say that. I didn't say that, and he won't shut up. So you've got to put a false quote in my mouth that I didn't say. Is that really how you work? Oh, son, no, unless you can rattle off a verbatim quote where I say that gas cannot fill 10 to the minus 17 torr. Those words never crossed my lips. You're just lying about things I haven't said. Again, we've had thousands of examples of lying glurfs who need to insert words I haven't said into my mouth with the words, so you are saying, insert bullshit I've never ever uttered here, and then start responding to that crap that I've never said. No, I've never said that gas won't fill 10 to the minus 17 torr, quite the opposite. I say gas fills space. That's what I actually say. Maybe you need something else that I haven't said to respond to. Sad.
So, Nathan.
Is this someone else?
Are you Yep. Are you able to demonstrate
Did you want to appeal
pressure?
to the moderator before you just pick up the button in some server? I was talking to someone else. You just lost badly.
Oh,
Do you think it's your chance to take my victory dance away from me? How dare you? That guy just had his ass absolutely handed to him. Yeah? By me, a flat earther. Another example justifying why I'm mocking you globe believers for being stupid. That was another example of that. And my righteous indignation in telling you to shut up while I take my little victory dance as a flat earther with the intellectual superiority I've demonstrated here in front of a load of globe-believing numpties who don't really know much about their own stupid religion of a sky vacuum-based globe that's based on flat Earth measurements. That was my victory dance, son. Now you can appeal to one of the mods and ask him permission to talk.
All right, yeah, AJ, I would like to ask Nathan a question.
Yeah, man, I think we're done with Jekyll. Or Gregory, sorry, Gregory. Jekyll. Yep, go ahead, trigonometry man.
All right. Do you have a demonstration of gas pressure in a container having a gradient?
Bottle Garden, why are you asking me? I don't have a positive claim about this. I just explained this to the last guy. I'm now answering him, and within seconds he's talking through me. Shocking, isn't it? Weak. Meanwhile, I'll just conclude. I hadn't really started. I gave you an example, Bottle Garden. Shut your stupid mouth. Meanwhile, I don't know why I'm being asked for this example. That's in absolute congruence with every single example of any gas pressure or gas pressure gradient ever, because they'll all have containment without exception. Meanwhile, this doesn't need to be put at my door. I am not claiming anything about the sky. The reason we point out the second law of thermodynamics is because you have a positive claim that the sky is a vacuum if you're a Western world globe believer. I don't have any claim in this regard, and I only explained this to the last guy 2 minutes ago.
Well, you do make a claim that a container is required, correct?
It's an antecedent consequent relationship. Unless you can demonstrate that you don't need a container for gas pressure, meaning it's pressing, or you can cite something beyond NASA, who say that pressure is the force exerted on the walls of the container. No, that's not a positive claim. It's an antecedent consequent relationship.
You hate stupid people, Nathan.
There's somebody else with a nice little ad hom. White Knight ad homs from Sideline
dear.
when someone gets a proper pasting and pummeling. We're still not addressing the fact that this isn't a positive claim I need to defend. I've put that to him. He hasn't responded to it.
Well,
Chances of him actually responding to something I say without total interruption,
people
Fundy
do
muting
exist
like
though,
he's
right?
doing now. You know, my points don't get addressed. I pointed out that I've put it to him and the last guy within 5 minutes. Will it get addressed? No, of course not. I'm not making a positive claim about what the sky is. Second time.
Can I address it?
And just before we move forward, I would not appeal to gas pressure gradients with respect to sea level as a defense for it. You see what happened to the last guy.